Let's talk education. Now, government has released 1.5 million cedis to pay the 2012 arrears of teachers. That is concerning their transfer grants and other allowances. A technical committee has also been constituted to validate the 2013 and 2014 salary arrears of newly recruited teachers, and that is to be submitted by, we're told, before 29th, when the teachers have threatened to embark on a strike. Now, let's see what happened in that meeting that took place today.
Government and the three aggrieved teacher unions, after a 3-hour meeting, signed the agreement for the release of 1.5 million cedis to the teachers. Again, in the agreement, a new technical committee has been set up to validate the 2013-2014 newly recruited teachers. The agreement also tasked the Controller and Accountant General's Department to process supplementary payment for teachers who have been already validated. The Minister of Employment and Labour Relations, Haruna Idrisu, tasked the Controller and Accountant General's Department and the key stakeholders to present their report by Monday, February 29.
The government will with immediate effect, release an amount of 1.5 million to GS for payment in respect of 2012 arrears, transfer grants and other allowances in respect of that. That we are assured by Honorable Atuforson is now being processed by a controller and should be hitting the account of GS and subject to its processes to be done. And on that basis, depending on the report of the validation exercise, the teacher union will review their intended industrial action accordingly, to which they had served notice to government and to the National Labour Commission. And accordingly, that with this negotiation ongoing, the teacher union are to keep the peace on the teachers' labor front.
The General Secretary of NAT, who doubled as a spokesperson for the teachers, David Ofori Champong, lauded efforts of government in releasing the fund.
We teacher unions believe in the sanctity of the school environment and will therefore not do anything to disrupt academic work. We believe that this agreement that we have reached here today will bring to closure the issues that we raised in our letter of notice to the Labour Commission. We trust that by Monday, as stipulated, we would have worked so hard on the agreement to get our 2013-14 teachers' salary arrears validated so that steps could be taken to pay them. And if that is so done, we will not have any justification to go any further with the intentions that we have served.
The newly signed agreement has nullified the previous roadmaps agreed for payment.
Right, so government and teachers, employers and employees are agreeing on the way forward. But let me quickly also add a few things here. Now, we're told that government and 3 aggrieved teacher unions, after that 3-hour meeting, signed the agreement. So 1.5 million cedis is to be released to the teachers. You know, they were asking for 16 million cedis. Now, again, in that agreement, a new technical committee has been set up to validate the 2013-2014 newly recruited teachers. Now, the agreement also tasks the Controller and Accountant General's Department to process supplementary payment for teachers who have been already validated. Now, Mr. Haruna Idrisu tasked the Controller and Accountant General's Department and the key stakeholders to present their report by Monday, February 29. And of course, that is the day the teachers said if they don't get the monies in the accounts, they will lay down their tools. My guest in the studio was here yesterday. Mr. Hinakwa Kwachi, the head of compensation of NAT, is still here. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
So, are you going to review the February 29th date action?
Good evening to your listeners, viewers. The February 29th deadline still remains, depending on what we are able to achieve by way of the work that the technical committee is going to do offsite. And the priority for us is the 2013-2014 validation of those who came out of the colleges of education. So if the committee is able to work on that one, then of course the commitment that we ask from government, which has been given in this communique, means that then we have no justification to continue with our intended action.
But of course, you know the committee cannot do this work in 5 days.
The 2013-2014 batches of the teachers that we are talking about, they are already on the payroll platform. They are being paid their salary. In fact, indeed, some of them are being paid their salaries. Some of them are being paid their allowances. So that one, it will be very easy for us to do the validation even within 1 day.
Sure.
Yes.
Now,
what is going
to that has to be processed.
Yes. What is going
We're
to
very
happen?
sure about that.
Yes. What is going to
So
happen?
if government says it can't do that in 5 days, it is not telling the truth.
No, we have done some before, and it's very likely that you should be able to finish even that of the 2013 alone in 1 day.
You are aware of the quantity of data
What is
involved?
going to happen? The quantity of data involved is about 18,000.
18,000 teachers
I'm not sure there will even be more than 18,000.
can be processed in 5 days.
It can be even 1 day. What is going to happen is that the payroll will be transposed into Excel format. Okay, so once it is projected, if it's the 2013 batch, everybody will see it. And then once we see it, then we will take them individually. If you were paid 3 months arrest and you have, let's say, 5 months outstanding arrest, then we'll fix it. If you have 12 months salary arrest, then we'll fix it. So that can be done in a day.
I see. So
And that is the kind of commitment that we wanted from government, because the previous roadmap that we have reached with government, there was no specific commitments from government.
So if the employment ministry says this work cannot be done in 5 days, it is not telling the truth.
It's not about the whole work.
This particular 2014 value.
No, if they say that work cannot be done, that is why we prioritize that one. And we are hoping that by 29 we should finish with that job. If we are unable to finish with that job, then we are in crisis.
That will stop the strike.
That
The only
will,
way out
if
is
we are
to
unable
finish
to
that job.
we can't stop the strike.
And you're sure government can do that in 5 days?
I am saying that that can be done even within a day or two, maximum 2 days. We should be able to finish that job. We have done some before.
So now, if this doesn't get done, you either would say that government is not committed, or would you say that perhaps, or if government comes out with the excuse that the quantity of data that is being processed is simply too much, would you believe it, or you would say that government is not committed to that roadmap?
No, let me make the distinction. We have several issues. Now, you remember yesterday and last Monday, we worked on these same issues, but we couldn't conclude anything.
Right.
So our strategy for today's meeting was that let us segregate the issues and deal with them one by one, and then identify those that can be worked on immediately. And one of them was the allowances, upon which the Ministry of Finance has started work on releasing 1.5 million for the payment of outstanding allowances, be it a transfer grants, vehicle maintenance and allowance, and others, totaling 1.5 million, which is for 2012 academic year or financial year. So that one is a commitment, and we were told that that amount of money will hit GS account by 12 noon tomorrow. So we will check. And tomorrow is Thursday. So Friday, we will go to GS and check and find out whether the money has indeed hit the account. If it has not, then we don't have any commitment from government. Likewise, the 2013-2014 one.
That is the validation.
The
process.
validation. If you go there and if you have any problems with it, Monday 29th, that is why the last, I think the 5th point of our communiques is that depending on the outcome of the off-site exercise that we will be doing, if it goes on successfully, then we will review our position. If it doesn't, our position remains the same.
29th.
29th.
You lay down your tools.
Depending on the outcome of the validation. But we trust that we can do that work because we have prioritized that. As for the others like promotion and direct recruitment into the service and re-engagement and reinstatement, that one to take some time because those ones we can't do them on the payroll. That one we will have to look at individual forms that they have submitted. And even at today's meeting, we were informed that some of the regions have been asked to submit the form because some of the forms are located in the region. So they have been asked to bring them to Accra tomorrow. So that is not what we are talking about. We are talking about the prioritized ones, which is the 2013 and 2014
Validation and all that.
yes. That one, because we are going to use the payroll. If they don't bring the payroll to enable us to do that exercise, then we are in crisis.